Hello and welcome. My name is Jessica Gem, and today we will hopefully be finishing up this piece. Really hoping. We've been working on it for quite a while, and I'm so grateful that you've been so patient with it, but today we just have lighting effects to work on, so it should be finished by the end of this stream. So let's get right into it. I don't want to fiddle around too much. I want to get this thing done. So, last time we just did this loose glow layer of just directly around the berries, lantern, potions, and the squids, and also Gibby the axolotl is glowing for some reason, because why not? So, this is just the absolute base for our glows, our lighting. So it's a pretty decent start. But I didn't want to get too much into it because last stream I was running pretty long, so this is where we ended off. As you can probably tell, there's no music unless you guys can hear it. I can't hear the music again. I don't know why it won't just consistently work. I've been trying for the last 20 minutes to try and make sound come through, but didn't work, so, you know. I suggest putting on a lo-fi playlist of YouTube in the background. But anyway, we're gonna get started here. So we've got our lantern glow, our potion glow, and our berry glow. So for starters, I think I'm going to begin with getting some shadows in here, because as you can tell, it's all kind of one tone. There's not really a huge difference in the lighting from the brightest parts to the darkest parts, other than just the cell shading that we've done, which is good, but it's not quite enough contrast. So I am going to be getting some of that in here. For Gemstone, I'm going to go ahead and group this one in here. So this is going to be our shadows layer, or the detailed shadows layer. And then I'm also going to have a regular shadow layer. And these are going to be locked directly to Gemstone, so I can only color on her. You get the gist. And we're just gonna go ahead and go in and get some darkness. So for this piece, I've been wanting to keep it in this color scheme. So on this half of the color scheme, color wheel, the orange to the kind of warmer blues, so like the aquas, stuff like that. So I'm going to continue with that here. So for the shadows, it's actually going to come up and be this blue here. Instead of, I typically go for like a nice purple shadow, but we're going to switch it up to the blue here to try and keep that colder shadow color, because our highlights are all going to be like an orangey, glowy warmth. So we're going to stick with that. Also, if my voice is a little bit raspy, that's because I was doing some audio recordings earlier, so I've already used up half of my talking ability for the day, so I will do my best. Yeah, so we're going to start with our general shadows first, I think, just to keep things loose, because maybe because of the cell shading we won't even need a detailed shadows layer, or maybe just in the deepest, darkest parts. So I'm going to make this a bit smaller, and this will be a little bit messy. Like, this type of shadow tends to be looser, just getting the overall darkness to it. But especially where we have like a part like this where the light is shining on the front of the corset, we do want to be careful to try and keep that clear. So maybe even going in and cleaning areas like that up, just to make sure it makes sense with how we're doing the shadows. So I might actually just make this brush a little bit smaller even to begin with, so that we have that little bit more control. And I'm keeping in mind that there is lighting from above here, but this is above and in front of her, so it's not going to be too crazy along the back. And I do need to get rid of this piece here because it's still overlapping the the foreground rock there. So I've got to remember to take that off because it does not make sense. But yeah, I'm just going over and doing a loose shadow on everything that is further down. This is kind of like a gradient shadow, like you could also just do a big gradient on it, but I tend to like actually coloring in a little bit more shape into them. So I'm just gonna follow that along here. So again, I'm looking where we've already done the cell shading and taking my cues from that. Since I already figured out the lighting, no need to figure it all out again. Just take my cues from that and focus on making it fit with how we've done it. So this part above the arm would be darker because the light's coming from below. Something like that. And then typically I will use a multiply layer, and that gives us that nice darkness, and then we can adjust it so that we see as much as we need to without it being too disruptive, but it's still being there. So for now I'm gonna put that at a nice 60 just to get an idea of it. Once we get all of the lighting for the cave, it'll be easier to tell how dark and how bright certain places should be, but for starters we will begin with this. I really wish the music would work better, more consistently. I do still like having it, but it does so hate working for me. So anyway, that is our base, like our overall shadow layer. So I'm gonna do the same thing with the background now. I'm just going to go over the entire thing with just a big shadow layer. Again, keeping in mind where my different pieces are. I might go in like actually into the different elements of the background and separate them out if I need to, but I'm just gonna start with an overall shadows for now, because I want to keep this as uncomplicated as I can. Because I definitely want to get this done fairly soon, and maybe even do the Minecraft skin today, but we'll see how it goes. So I actually don't want to darken this back part too much because I did want it to be a bit lighter around here. We'll see how that turns out. I might have to darken it if it's, you know, since she's got so much light on her, it might not contrast very well. So I may have to darken it a little bit, but we'll see as we go here. Yeah, I'm just going ahead and doing my best here. Trying to avoid basically anywhere that the berries are directly. I'm going in between like these little areas here because there would be a little bit of shadow there, but also once we add the glow that'll already look darker. So I definitely don't want to go overboard with it just because it is, you know, all gonna be glowing. So this is really useful just for deepening the cell shading that I already have, more so than completely darkening it all out. And I'm also keeping in mind where the squid glow will be, where the berries, where the lantern light is. And this whole area is going to be pretty dark. I want it to be fairly receded into the shadows here. because all the glow is coming from in front of it, so this should be as dark as possible for all the contrast. All the contrast. And a little bit of a loose shadow all under her as well, because I have that sharp shadow directly on the rock, but a loose shadow just for, you know, the light that she is blocking. And also over here, leaving the top edge of it a little bit lighter because that will have some shine on it, but keeping it dark on the primary edges, or keeping it dark everywhere else other than the edges for now. So I think that is alright. This part here would also be a little bit darker because the glow is directly over here, not quite on this side. And that should be a good enough base, so go ahead and change it to our multiply. Now we may adjust the tones of this a little bit as well, but let's switch that to our 60. So that looks still a little bit too dark and also possibly a bit too desaturated, even though I have it on this half. Just because of how a multiply layer works, it takes away some of that. So I might try some different layer styles here. Darken is not bad, but I think that leaves too much of the color. So we're probably going to stick with the multiply layer, switch it to 60, and actually bring this up and to this side even a little bit more. Alpha lock that so that we don't color over it, or transparency lock in this one. And then just do a little draw over. It's sometimes hard to tell, but you just gotta be aware of the subtle differences. So that's a little closer. It's also, once you add just a lighting layer or just a multiply layer, like just a shadow layer, it can still be hard to tell how the actual lighting will look, because one without the other, it kind of can look a little bit odd, because it's like, oh, you have all this deep dark shadow, but then only the flat colors left as the highlights. And some people can do that well. I cannot. I don't know how to do that effectively, so I kind of rely on having both types of layer. Oops. And I'm gonna change the color of gemstone shadows as well to keep them the same. But because she has a little bit more color to her, so the background rocks were looking a little too gray because they already are gray. Since she has orange, now her hair looks kind of green. Or since she has yellow, rather. So I am going to go ahead and take that and desaturate it again just a little bit. So overall, I try to keep them the same typically, but again, depending on color relevancy, you may need to change them, or I may need to switch them up a little bit sometimes. So I just made that a little bit closer to what we had originally, but still with a bit more of that color. So that is the large base for the shadow layer. And next we will be going ahead with the highlighting layer. So this will be the glow from everything. So glow on her. So this won't be any rim lights if we decide to do those. This will just be, you know, where the lantern is hitting, to try and bring that all together a little bit more. So I'm just going to grab this color straight from it. We can adjust it a little after. But this is just going to be, you know, we have these hard lines from our cell shading, but we're now going to go ahead and add the soft lines from just the gentle glow of this lantern. Even on the lantern itself. We're trying not to go too overboard with this because we already have that multiply layer that really gives us that darkness, so glowing like the glows should be a little bit more subtle, just since this cave is very dark, so, you know, the only light entering in here is from these naturally glowing things, and they don't tend to glow super bright, especially for the berries. We want to keep that more subtle. This lantern can be a bit bolder because, you know, its purpose is to light things up. But other than that, we definitely want to watch and make sure we're not going overboard with the shadows, or with the highlights, with the glow. But yeah, always making sure to be a little bit heavier closer to the light and lighter as it goes down, because when we switch the layer style, or even without it, the opacity kind of adds to the depth of showing, you know, how far certain pieces are away from the light and whatever. So something like that. And then again, I like to use addition layers most of the time. Sometimes they don't give quite enough color. So for this, it's actually not working the best just because of the color of it. So I'm actually going to drag it more saturated and a little bit more yellow, or like orange, and try that. Because sometimes it, like, addition does make it look very shiny, but it can also drown out the actual color of it a little bit. So I'm gonna try a couple here just to see, because sometimes I do go with a different lighting style if addition or multiply or anything that I normally use aren't quite working. That's the wrong one. Divide like switches it to the opposite, so you can get some cool effects with it, but I don't know how to use it effectively. So it looks like addition might be the best choice, but let's just scroll through here. Burn always looks cool. I want to learn to use it properly. That's color, that doesn't add any light. Color dodge is not awful, but it can make the blues look a little weird. Like if you're using color dodge and you have it over something that's opposite, it can kind of look a bit strange, so maybe not. But we'll keep that in mind as an option. This lighten is actually not bad. I wish it was more saturated though. I could do an overlay layer and then a lighten, because that'll kind of bring that out a little bit, but I'll see what else I have here first. Yeah, so if I do this and then a lighten or then an addition, then it can add more of that yellow color into it. It's just tricky when you have, you know, a yellow and a blue, like opposite colors like that. Trying to make the lighting work for those two colors at the same time. Oh, that looks cool. But yeah, again, these are into the implication. These are into the styles that I don't use a lot. These are all the folders that I don't really... Oh, that looks neat. Go into it all for lighting effects? Or... no. Rainbows! That's cool, it makes it look holographic. Anyway, these are the styles I don't know how they work, like at all. So I am also discovering them. Color is not quite low. Decrease saturation. It's fun. Whoa. Yeah, so lots of neat looking ones, but I have no idea how to use 90% of these layer styles. Hello, Simple Potato Farmer, welcome! Woohoo, Gibby indeed! He's so cute down there. Gibby and the Suicide Squids. This one... oh, that's color dodge again. Easy dodge. Ooh. Gamma illumination looks pretty cool. It's similar to color dodge, but a little bit softer. Howdy indeed. How are you today? Yeah, that one's pretty nice. But it does add that red, which I did kind of want to avoid. You understand nothing but color's pretty. I mean, that's me for 90% of these layer styles as well, so you're not alone there. Ooh, Lumosity Shine. Sigh, that's not bad. I am just gonna go ahead. I'm probably gonna fall back on trying this. I'm gonna do an overlay and then duplicate this layer and do an addition just to see. That was the wrong one. Addition. Your mind is mush and you have a project due tomorrow, so time to procrastinate. Uh-oh. Aw. Feels bad. Well, I hope I don't mush it further. Hello, Skymiram. Welcome. Let's see. Yeah, so since I added this overlay layer underneath, it brings back more of that yellow, which is good. So I'm just gonna... I don't want it to be too intense, so I'm gonna try a 30. And then with the glow itself, maybe down to a 60. And then I'm actually gonna make this glow even more orange. So it's like the overlay glow. Something like that. I may try and make this orange as well. Yeah, that's a little bit closer. Now, is that lantern glow too much? Now that I have the actual lantern glowing, I'm just gonna turn that down a tiny bit, just so that it doesn't completely drown out the other layers. Just leave that as a little halo there. And that color is orange, so I'm also gonna do a little bit of yellow. Center. Just to try and give it a little bit of a difference there. That didn't really do too much for it. That's alright though. Alright. That's a good start. Again, we might be going back and tweaking some things as we go along. So, now I will do the overall glow. So, as I've mentioned before, I often just do like these layer styles completely give me the result for a lot of my art. Obviously it's not, you know, a get good button or anything like that, but I find they do really, like it's just a flat piece of art and then it's the make it dynamic button. Squibs. Squibs indeed. So, I do want to learn how to more effectively, you know, actually create certain things, but it's a work in progress. As I'm using the layer styles, I'm kind of learning what colors they turn into and stuff, so that's hopefully sticking in my brain at least a little bit, but I don't know, we'll see. So for these, I want to focus on really where the berries are. I'm working behind the vines right now. So I'm going to do a gentle overall on all these rocks because that's where it's probably hitting. Ooh, that looks cool. A gentle overall on the parts that stick out the most. That looks really fun. Same with the procrastination, doing woodwork instead. Your mathematics. Wow. Cool. We got a scientist and a woodworker. Crazy. Well, don't I am not one to like disparage procrastinating because same. But don't procrastinate too much. Like, if you need to focus, there's always the VOD after. Math is just tedious, indeed. Indeed. I am so glad I don't have to do math anymore. Well, except, you know, the basics that you need in life, but even that is fine. No big maths. Plus, you have calculators for math you have to do in real life. Okay, so that is kind of a general overglow of where the strongest parts of the berry glows would be. So let's see. Oops. That was the wrong button. I definitely don't want to use addition for this just because it should really be that same orange glow. So I want to keep it more to that. And I'm going to start off with a 50 opacity layer just to check. Like just from the start, because it's not going to be that bright. Your assignments are so boring. Oh no. Like tutor's assignments? I'm not sure. See, I love how color dodge looks up here. Like these look really, really cool, but down here it just takes the green from it and it makes it way too bright. Unfortunate. So that layer style won't quite work for this. There we go. Darken, obviously not. Erase, obviously not. Lighten is not bad. Actually, even normal isn't bad, but it would probably be lighten instead just to keep the everything under it really clear. Overlay, also not bad, but again, it doesn't really look like it's glowing that much, so. Screen's pretty good, but again, it takes away that saturation, so I could just move that. Soft light, addition, divide. Okay, we're into the other ones now. Let me try a screen layer, but with more intensity. That's pretty good. I think I want to get rid of some of the stuff over here because the glow should be fairly subtle. Because even though, you know, it's like the only light source, I still want it to be kind of more subtle. I want the overall piece to be darker, so I'll probably do some overall, you know, oh, why is that showing up? Has that been doing that the whole time? What if I do that? Ah, I fixed it. my little Vado tube menu was popping up when I scrolled over that section of the screen. Ooh, apple slices? Indeed, woohoo, fixing. Yeah, all I needed to do was minimize it, so. I think I normally do that, so hopefully it hasn't been doing that in other streams, but maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so that is probably alright for those. I might even lower the berry glow. Maybe I'll make that 40 instead. Because I really want everything to be quite dark. But not quite like that. I may have to darken that back portion a lot, actually. Interesting. Alright, 50. Yeah. I'm not quite liking it. I'm gonna add the squid glow. Like the ambient squid glow. Ambient squid. Wait. Ambient squib. There we go. Oops. I flipped it. I haven't done that in a while. That looks really weird to my eyes now. Because you're typically supposed to flip your canvas a lot because your eyes get really used to seeing it the normal way. So it's harder to see Squid Doobie being ambient indeed. But it's harder to see any mistakes when you get really used to them. Do you remember if you flip it too much you won't be able to tell? Well, that's kind of the point. It's supposed to look good either way if you try not to get used to it being one way too much. So I might work on it like this for a bit, and then flip it back, and that might help. IKEA squid lamp? Is there an IKEA squid lamp? That would be fun. I want to look that up, but I'm gonna try and get this done. But yeah, so I think I'll leave it flipped for a minute just to see if that'll help at all. Just while I'm doing the ambient, like some of the lighting, it might help to really tell where it's unbalanced. This looks really weird though. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of, you know, squid glow. So on like the mist especially, I want that showing and glowing, and I was trying to think of another word, but the only word I thought was blowing, but that doesn't make any sense in a lighting scenario, so anyway, yeah. I'm also gonna do a little bit just on the rocks that are right near it to add that element of it being a part of the scene. That looks really weird. It's really unbalanced with how much light is over here and how much dark is over here. Pretzels be so yummy. And German. Indeed, pretzels are yummy. Are you having apple slices and pretzels? That sounds like such a good snack. And highlight the water around this guy a little bit. A little bit of this glowy over here even. Yes, you got the pretzel for free, so even better. Heck yeah, dude, we love free food. Free pretzel? Oh man. Score. That sounds awesome. I hope you enjoy your snack. It sounds great. Okay, so that is that. My brain's starting to get used to it, which is weird. It being flipped. I like how the crystal legs look, but it's gonna look even better when I do the real detailed highlights. Anyway, so that ambient squib. Addition and lower. Ooh. It's the first thing you've eaten in a while and your fish brain is just like, eat. Heck yeah. Oh, you like the colors? Yay. I'm glad. I like them too. I think it's a great mix. As you can tell by the fact that my character is those colors. But thank you. Well, now I get off my lazy butt and grab food. Sounds like a good time for a snack for everyone then. Well, not for me, because obviously I'm busy, but... Heck yeah. I had food before I started streaming, so it is all good, but I hope everyone enjoys your nourishment. Eat the foods. Take in the energies. Okay. I'm just gonna add a little bit on this edge as well. Yeah. Just adding a tiny bit of blue like here as well. Kind of where it's like shining off of her legs. just using the same glow as the squid is from. At least have a drink so you don't get joint rust. I have a little bit of water left. I forgot to refill my water bottle, so it's running low. Okay. There we go. It's back. It was... I thought it would help, but it was actually kind of distracting me from how the lighting actually looks. So, let's see. I almost want to take some of these out. I feel like there might be too many vines. What do y'all think? I'm gonna leave it off for now. Just to see. I might like that better. I don't know though. I would obviously have to erase the line, you know, the glows where the berries aren't, but... yeah, I think that might be better. I think I was too busy with all the vines. I spent so long making all of those though. But you're supposed to delete your art when it's something that's not working. I don't know. Maybe. I might have to get rid of them. Okay. Just take some of the Quib's water. Yeah, I should just borrow some. It looks so nice. It looks really refreshing. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. Also, apologies if there's now a slight buzz in the background. I had to turn my fan on. It's warm in here. Maybe the gems would glow too? Now there's an idea. I can try one after. I think I did make a... yeah, I did. I made a rough glowing layer and this rough shading layer, but that's actually not bad. Because I do want to vignette it, and this is already like that, but it's a little messy because I didn't, you know, it was just a brief test, so. Yeah. I don't hear it, but if someone does, fan ASMR, heck yeah. Well, not really, but you know, I'm glad that you don't hear it. I hope it's not irritating. If anyone does happen to. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. Although that kind of looked better. I feel like it's just covering the lantern a little too much, but then also not glowing right. I don't know, something's off about this. Maybe if I make it smaller. I don't know. Something like that. The background needs to be so much darker. Everything is too bright. I think I made a mistake making this light. Oh well. We do and we learn. So... I'm gonna go ahead and... You just read the last message in chat and your brain just yelled coffee for no apparent reason? I mean, fair enough. Maybe you need some coffee, yeah. Maybe. Okay, I'm just gonna duplicate this layer just in case. Because I'm gonna actually go straight in and just... I'm gonna get rid of these glows and replace them. And there's not gonna be as many berries over here because I didn't like how it looked. So first of all, I need to actually get the color that this is. Okay, it was just the orange. And screen on 40. It's a good thing I could just undo that because I did not remember what layer style that was. And yeah, I'm just gonna... I've gotten rid of 2 entire sections of vines because they were just too much. And that's what you gotta do sometimes. For the greater good. So we've sacrificed the vine. And I'm just gonna re-add the glow from these berries. Yep, coffee at 10 p.m. with dinner. Healthy life decisions. Don't have coffee at 10 p.m. You're not gonna be able to sleep at all. Oh man. I would recommend not doing that. I mean, I guess unless you don't have anything tomorrow, because then, you know, as an adult as adults we get to accept our own consequences, but or people capable of decision making. That's the plan. Consequences. Oh my goodness. There we go. I fixed it. We culled the vines. We got rid of the ones that we did not need. I also need to get rid of these ones, unfortunately. As painful as that is as well, I've got to cut these off. All of this has got to go. Because this would be falling behind these rocks. I'm just gonna lower this opacity so that I can see where the actual line of it is. And there we go. Oops. And I've also got to get rid of that. And this glow. Wrong buttons. You have an early class. You pray they're gonna cancel. Well, yeah, especially if you don't get any sleep. Okay. That and overall glow. But then just use a bit of airbrush to bring a tiny bit of it back. Just the ambient from behind it. Alright. There we go. We got rid of that vine that was crossing in front. Let us gather and pray for cult members, guys. Not a cult. Alright. So, what do I still need? I still need the glow from the lantern on the actual ground. So, I'm gonna do lantern for all glow. Glow you? Okay, that's fine. It does not matter at all. I will not fix that spelling mistake. I will not fix that spelling. I want to fix the spelling mistake. I'm not going to. Anyway. Need that coffee? Aw. I mean... I guess sometimes if you need it, you need it. Maybe Gibby will give you some coffee. Oh, don't let Gibby get his hands on coffee. That's just a recipe for the end of the world. That will cause the destruction of all species and creatures and planets in existence. If it become too powerful, nothing would stop him. No, Gibby ain't that quirky. Well, if you want to risk it, it's only the fate of everything. Okay, and Gibby gets more glow around him too. Shine, Gibby, like the star you are. There we go. And then just clean up this edge up here because it's going a little far over. Alright, and addition? No, that doesn't keep. Ooh, color dodge looks so cool. I really want to be able to use that. That's probably the layer style that I'm most interested in learning to properly apply. Which I should learn from Rostraws. He does that, but I haven't watched his videos in a while. I was watching them for a little bit. He has really good ones. He's a really good artist, but well, no classes tomorrow when the world ends. So I condone. No, don't give him coffee. That looks nice, thank you. Alright. I think our glows are looking pretty good. I'm gonna save the final highlights to last. I just want to do some work on the crystals, gold, and maybe the squids as well. And the gold, the ambient gold as well. The ambient gold? What? The gold that's around. But for now... Oh, right, I don't need this anymore. I will move to down here. I have so many layers. It's come so far. Let's see how our values are. Yeah, it's kind of hard to read. So this corner is nice and dark, but this corner isn't really that light. And also everything back here is kind of just the same tones. And Gemstone's fading into this a little bit, so like if you look here, these are basically the exact same tone. Like her skin here and the background. Now it's been printed. Yeah. Like the white highlights and stuff, that all needs to pop, that's great. But we need a little bit more contrast, so I need to make the background darker. Because I want it to look like a glowy cave, and to look like a glowy cave it needs to be dark enough. To look like it's actually glowing. So I'm actually gonna go in and... where is it? That's the white water. Those are the foreground ones. Mist, waterline. Got a sweetened mocha coffee with 2 additional shots of espresso. Oh no, you're gonna be up for a week. Become energy. Oh man. Okay. So here I'm gonna go add photos. Don't mind me putting my pen in my mouth and then trying to talk. Mid shadows. So this layer is right above. Oh, I have it on eraser. I was like, why did that not do anything? This layer is right here. Oh, that looks so cool. I've just got all the shinies above it. So cheesy. It does look like cheese. Milk plus coffee squared equals energy. Cheese waterfall. But yeah, that's where this layer is. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a blue. I'm actually gonna make it pretty gray because it's really to separate it out. There we go. And maybe a darken for this one? Maybe a multiply. Yeah, multiply works better for the colors. Oh yeah, that looks so cool. Okay, that's more what I had in mind. So maybe not 75. Let's start with 50. Fancy, indeed. Okay, that hides a lot of the detail, but I think that's alright. Because I'm gonna go in and just do a little bit of erasing where the shinies are, just to make them pop even more. Like so. Gibby, come back to the light. And just these areas, like the water can be a little bit lighter because it has all of the light kind of reflecting around in it. So I'm just lightening up the water and these waterfalls too. But I don't want them to look like they're glowing because the water itself is not glowing. So I'll make it a bit smaller for this background one. Whoops. And only draw on the water. Ooh. Spicy. Okay. And I'm gonna keep the same shadow color because that seemed to work really well. And maybe go over the overall shadows? No. Well, it wouldn't help that I have it on eraser, probably. Okay. Not the overall shadows. I don't want to touch those. So let's do shadows 2 electric boogaloo for fun. Remember to save? Good reminder. I have a couple times, but always good to double check. I want to darken this area a lot more, this rock. Everything must be even darker. I'm gonna lose a lot of the detail I put in here if I go too far though, which I really don't want to do because obviously I spent so long putting all the details in there. Electric Boogaloo? Yeah, it's like I don't know what it was from, but it's a joke. It's a sequel to something, so it's something to Electric Boogaloo. He's so funny. Okay, closer. Still not perfect, but closer. And now, what's this? Is this layer blank? This layer is blank. Okay, I can use this one. I'm gonna grab my really bright, fully saturated yellow-orange. And I'm gonna go over everything that's kind of tinted yellow. And this doesn't make sense right now, but I'm gonna see if it'll work. Tag to Electric Boogaloo. I don't know. I don't actually know what it's from, I've just heard it and it's fun to say. So I'm just going over all this that's supposed to be yellow, and that includes on her. Gibby, of course. Her knees. Belt, gold. And all the background gold. Like so. And then a new layer. And I'm gonna take the aqua. Again, just as bright and beautiful. So powder cheese. Indeed. And I'm just gonna go over everything blue. Well, everything kind of aqua-y blue. Excuse me, Gibby. Just go around you there. It looks like Cheeto dust. I mean, you gotta have those snacks when you're going caving. You gotta make sure you got snacks and little boosts and stuff. So you know, it's for safety. Those two gemstones, arms, gems, all that. It looks like chaos, doesn't it? Well, guess what? I'm doing another layer. This one is kind of a darker gray blue. MS Paint time. Yep, we are just slapping these on here. With some rhyme or reason, but it is a little hard to tell. For now it seems unreasonable, doesn't it? Wahaha. That's all the dark blue. And then one more, because I forgot that green existed. And we're gonna go over all the green as well. Just kind of sparsely intermingled with the orange here. The orange will probably be the more dominant one, but we just want a little bit green on the leaves. Kind of scattering it in. And of course, the moss. Oh, now we're at his level of art. Aw, don't say that. It's just splotches. Which can be fun to do. Abstract? You're an abstract artist? Hmm? Sploochies. Alright, so. Looks like a disaster, right? Let's just say it's modern art. Yep. All done. There we go. It's modern art. It's just finished here. And now all that work was worth it as we see the perfect final piece. $1 billion. Alright, and now I'm gonna get rid of those. Ooh. Maybe I don't want to change it. I'm kidding. And then I'm gonna take that and just do a little bit of a overlay. And make it very small. Make it maybe 10. Before, after, before, after. It just adds a little bit more life. Maybe 15 to make it very visible. Before, after, before, after, or after. It just brings that warmth back. Heck yeah. And this overlay. Oh, make it 15. Again, before, after, before, after, before, after. Nice. Oh, that's fair enough. It takes a lot of practice. If you want to be good, you can be good. If you do not want to, then don't. It is all up to the individual. What they like. Remember to stretch so my wrists don't fall off. Okay. Yeah. Wrist stretch. Wrist stretch. I can talk and formulate sentences. Okay. This one, overlay. Wow, now it looks like they're in an underwater cave. This one I'm just gonna do on 10 because it can be a little bit more subtle. I might not even want that in the end because that brings a little too much of that purple into it. But I'll keep it there for a second. And last but not least, overlay on 15. Nice. Alright, so I'm just gonna group all these. Oops. Or not, because I forgot that it doesn't like things being grouped. Unfortunately, it makes it not read the layers below quite right. Whoopsie dipsy. Okay, we not do that then. Do the stretchies, yes. Indeed. But yeah, so that helped boost the colors a little bit. I just... What? I don't know what I just did. What did I do? I genuinely don't know what I'm doing there. But anyway, if we go back out, you can see there's a lot more contrast now. There's still not that many pure whites. You just found out there's a dark thing. So pretty everything now is. On Twitch? Fair enough. I've had everything on dark. Yeah, on Twitch. Ah. I've had everything on dark mode since I discovered it was a thing in like maybe like a little over a year. You never knew. I actually didn't know there was a light mode for Twitch because I think even when I first got on, it was already dark mode. I don't know. But yeah, dark mode all the way. It's so much better on the eyes. Now you won't get flashbanged, indeed. Oh, I know what happened. Backspace fills the layer. So that just made... So if I do this, it just filled it with white for some reason. Interesting. Anyway, I will not leave that there. But yeah, so that's... I actually don't think I'm gonna turn on the blue. I think I like the contrast better without it. So I'm just gonna move that layer down here. Other stuff. What is... Oh, right. This is my outfit sketches. That stuff. Okay. Alrighty. So that is where we are now. So we just have a couple more things to do, which would be gold glow. I'm just gonna do where the light is shining off of the gold. Just my little highlights on any of these. Just to make sure that they look nice and shiny, because even though technically there wouldn't really be light on those, I still want there to be. I also need to fix up this, how it looks like she's standing on nothing. I'm not really sure how. Maybe by lessening the shadows or deepening them on her leg. I'll figure that out in a second. But yeah, basically for the gold, I'm going a little bit over the edge so it looks like it's kind of shining on the rock around it. But not too much that it looks, you know, like it itself is glowing. It's just supposed to look like it's reflecting light. Never had it on light? Yeah. Yeah, stuff on light mode is... Eesh. Did you know YouTube could be dark mode? That's so much better. So glowy, indeed. So these would technically have like the kind of bluish glow, but like they already have kind of ambiently here, but I want to put the yellow glow on it just to keep it looking like gold. Because creative liberties, I want it to glow yellow. Shine yellow, I suppose. There we go. Just a couple more. There's some like up in here, but they're already pretty covered in glowy stuff, so I'll just, you know, a little bit of a loose job on anything that's showing. And yeah. Can you guys hear the music, by the way? It says it's playing, but I don't think it's playing. Again, I don't know why it does this. Okay, gold glow. Addition. Heck yeah. A bit and it's nice? Oh, perfect. Well, I'm glad that you guys can hear it. That's good. That is the important part. I can survive. Alright, screen? Yeah, I think that just adds just enough of a touch of that shininess there. One of your friends just responded to your question to an assignment with, "Give me a second, without coffee I'm as useful as a Mark 14. Oh no. Why everyone drinking coffee so late? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna fix up this leg. How do that? I think I'm just... At this point, I think I'm just gonna fix up things on a layer above everything else. Or at least this. So I've just selected that color there. There we go. Okay, so I've never had coffee. Could you please tell me, how does it feel? Oh. Depends how your body reacts to it. Coffee does not go well with me. I get hyper for like 2 minutes and then my stomach hurts for the rest of the day. Okay, I think that kind of fixed the leg. I'm really sad that we lost a lot of the detail here. I think because this is already such a dark area. Yeah, there's like no other shadows above that. I'm gonna just erase out a little bit of the shadows right here, just to see if we can bring any of this back. It's just already so dark. It looks like I'm not even doing anything when I'm erasing the shadows, which is fair enough, I guess. Let me add a little bit more of the squid glow through the legs here. Yeah, so it looks like it's kind of glowing, like shining in. Yeah, like that. It looks like it's kind of reflecting off the leg a little bit, but then I am still gonna go ahead and remove it where it's hitting lines to try and keep that shape in here. So it's kind of like this. There we go. I think that helped a lot. That really brought back this area. Heck yeah. Like dying a little less inside. Ooh, that sounds nice. Past the point of getting hyper. Nothing like having sawdust on your lips. Oh man. Mmm, tasty. Does it go great with coffee? The light wooden flavor? Sawdust and paint fumes in the lungs. Oh no. Okay, I think that helped, and now if I go to a layer above it all, I think it's about time to add the last highlights layer? Maybe. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna go and undo. Should have left it as. Yeah. And then squib. 60? 50? 55. 60. Yeah. I just feel like I'm losing a lot of the details in the lighting layer, because it's covering up a lot of the lines. Maybe if I also make this one a little bit less. Yeah, I think that helped. Good question, should you paint the piece? Depends what you're working on. And what its purpose is. And if you like painting. Okay, What is this? Lantern glow? Lantern glow. There's just a little part at the top where I had some of the berry glow before, but now it's gone. There we go. Alright, I think we're looking pretty good. So now it's just time for the final touch? Perhaps? Oh! Small goat head? Ooh. Cool. Well, it depends if you like painting or not, I guess. If you do, then heck yeah, go for it. If you don't, or if it'll make you turn it in late, I guess it's a judgment call. Alright, there was something that I wanted to do from the very beginning that I do not want to forget at the last second here. Where is it? Water 4, mid shadows, rocks, water, back, rocks. Right here. If any of you were there for my first ideation stream, there was something that I said I wanted to have. Oh no, the goat is not an assignment, it's a distraction from the assignment. Oh no. Wait a second. Someone that I need to have in the background here. Then become Picasso. I need an ender friend. A creeper. A type of creeper. It's an ender friend. Because I love them. Okay, their eyes are near the bottom of their head. Or like kinda in the center, I guess. Ender friend. Ender friend. Cosplay Ender. Yeah, I should put the link hair on him. And now just a straight up good old fashioned Ender friend. Because I love them. Because they're just spooky, lanky, dark boys. And they're fun. I wish they didn't hate me if I just look at them though, because I like looking at them. And they sparkle! How cool is that? Okay, so their eyes are kind of light. Which I can't do. I can't make it purple. Because I don't have any purple in my piece. I'm gonna make it purple. He's the only purple in the piece. Maybe he'll stand out more, but I'll make him more subtle. Ignore the dog in the background. Just realized that you broke up with a girl you wanted to cosplay with? Aww. Sorry to hear that. Doggo indeed, they're... Hush, Freya and Tilly, you are being too loud. He's just like, Gibby really talking to them moving rocks. Yeah. What is Gibby doing? Talking to that pile of diamonds over there? He's really off his rocker now. I always knew he was a weird one. Ever play Persona? No, I haven't. Okay, his eyes are throwing me off. They're too high. There we go. Deselect. Oh wait, wasn't it? Was it R? No, it wasn't. Rats. Are for rats. Mid shadows him. Good, surprisingly. Well, I am glad to hear that. Still, I bet stuff like that can be hard, or is hard, so I wish you the best in your feelings. Y'all ever heard or play a game called Our Life Beginning and Always? No. It's him. He's just chilling back there. Him. But I think he's in the wrong spot. Ooh. He's just staring indeed. A visual novel. Ooh. I haven't played many of those, but they are cool. I just really want him to just be peeking out ever so slightly. Is he too noticeable there? Maybe if I make his eyes just a little bit darker. It's so funny. The absolute only purple in the piece is just this tiny little guy. His little Easter egg? Yeah. That's why I'm trying to make him subtle. Only for the special ones who examine the piece closely. Like teachers in the back of the class when taking a test. Is that what you mean? Like the teachers, oh, he looks like he's gonna offer you a gum. Or like teachers back in school when taking a test. Hey. Hey, don't mind me, I'm just in the back here. Alright, he's perfect. Anyway. Oh, you know what I could also do? It doesn't really add much to the overall piece, but I just want to do it anyway. Just some little sparkles. Those are hardly visible. There we go. He's sparkling. I'm so glad I didn't forget him. And I think he's so dazzling. Indeed. I'm just gonna lighten him ever so slightly with the color of the rock that's behind him. Overlay, I think that's a little too dark. I want him to really blend, like, right in. Almost. What if I just do color? No. Normal? And then take that color. Yeah, that's like the exact color, and then just lower the opacity. Maybe to like a 60? Yeah, now he fades in even more. Okay, not quite that much. Like a 50. Maybe a 30. I want him to still be there. There. He's perfect. Can we call him Bob or like Methuselah? Oh. girl, you're shining like a Fifth Avenue diamond. Is that the lyrics? I don't know. Maybe. But indeed, he is shining. Methuselah, that's funny. I don't know. He hasn't introduced himself, so maybe we don't know his name yet. Gibby's clearly telling us what's up, but maybe he's too shy. Methuselah Honeysuckle? Oh my goodness. Okay, so that was, I think, the last thing that I really wanted to get in the back there. So now it's just time for the final highlights. Now for this I kind of wanted to use like a little, maybe basic flow, like kind of a softer brush. Well, let me actually see. Yeah, like that. Where it's harder than the airbrush that I was using for like the bigger shadows, but it's also softer than the strict cell shading. And I just do the edges of things. Just so that I can get that different amount of glow on each thing. And I will have to leave right on time today because I do have work later. So I'm really trying to get this done. We still have about half an hour. Well, almost exactly half an hour. So we should... This is, I think, the last thing I want to do, so we should be able to finish it. I really hope so. I've been working on it for so long. You can do it. Go, Jim, go. Yay! Thank you for the encouragement. Got this. Because we're just doing the final highlights now, so it should be all good. I want to do sounds when I'm doing this for some reason. Yeah, just those little extra touches really helping. Okay. Brighten this a little bit. Yeah, show that art who's boss and make some art. Yeah. Let's get this art. So I will be changing the layer style again so that it won't be so like, it won't just cover all these parts, hopefully. It should just brighten them up. I'll see what style works best, but I really want the crystals to look good, especially. So hopefully I can find a layer style that kind of works for all of these things that I'm doing with it. Because I'm doing it all on the same layer. Because I don't want to be bothered with trying to sort out through any more of these. I'm so tired. Looking through all these layers. I really made a disaster of it. Half of them are labeled and the other half are like directly next to the things that they're for. So all the line layers are labeled and then the paint layers are right under them. So it's not that bad, but still kinda tired of sorting through them all. Just gonna go over top of everything. And that'll make sure they're not affected by any layer styles that make them look weird or anything. So it's a win-win. Fire is so nice you can understand moths now. Heck yeah, fire is great. Currently the wood is winning. Oh no. Set the wood ablaze, you can do it, Sky. Show him who's boss too. Burn the goat. Oh, it's like that, I think it's Swedish? They have a goat, like a big straw goat. Is that the one? Arson, indeed. There's a culture that has like a goat. Scandinavian maybe? I don't know, but they talked about it on Drawfee once. they were doing like a folklore thing, and they they build a big straw goat, and it's not supposed to get burned, but people end up burning it like nearly every year. I think that was from a couple years ago, that episode, but stop burning the goat, they just want to be loved. The Yule goat, yeah. Should have remembered that. But yeah, the Yule goat. It's my motivation goat. Heck yeah. Just give the Yule goat some love. They're made of straw, they just want a nice prickly hug. When they said burning passion, they didn't mean it like that. Yeah. You're supposed to cherish it, not char it. Ducky. So, as you could probably tell, I'm going with the direction of the lantern for these brightest highlights. Kind of ignoring exactly where all the light hits. So like still adding them here and stuff, because this is kind of rim lighting-ish, where it doesn't all make sense, but it just looks cool. Cause art, the rule of cool, if it's cool, then do it. Not the rule of cool guys don't look at explosions. That one is painful. D&D references that only I get. Unless you watch our D&D live streams on We the Celestials Live. There's hundreds of hours of content for you to enjoy or suffer through. Oh man. Gasp! I don't get it. Yeah. Dude, that's even a really old reference. Me up in here talking to you guys but making references just for myself for some reason. It's all stream of consciousness, it's just whatever comes to my mind. Alright. I get rid of some of this sharp line here. Grind, optimize, automate, thrive. Heck yeah, that's how you get ahead. Don't want these to be quite so big. They're just little highlights. And also for the gold back here. And consume cheese. Short goat? Oh, is it a tiny little goat? That would be cute. Want to erase those just a little bit so they're not quite as intense, because again they are kind of not in the light, so they wouldn't be shining that much. Alright, so I think that's all on her, and then I'm just gonna also do different parts of the background. Really? We do that. Goat King? No, GOAT is the acronym. Oh, grind, optimize, automate, thrive. GOAT. Heck yeah. Also greatest of all time. All the GOAT. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get it at first, but thank you for pointing it out. Grind, optimize, automate, thrive. My brain keeps wanting to combine optimize and automate because I'm reading it at the same time saying it. Okie dokie. Like I said, motivation goat. Ah, indeed. Also reference, yeah. Alright. Yep. And I thought about it for a moment, but I am not going to put a highlight on every single berry because they already have them. You're welcome. So smart. Is a smart reference. For their goat. Okay. I forgot about him. I forgot the Enderman was there. What a pleasant surprise. And again, I am gonna do these ones in here, just so we can see. Because actually, that will separate these out a little bit so they don't just look like really weird berries. Just a gold. There. There we go. So that is almost all the gold. Nearly forgot this one. Nice, 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 nice. Okay. Now my brain is telling me highlight some of the water. Got spooked, yeah. Surprised me a little bit. Now my brain is telling me to highlight some of the water, but I already very carefully curated how the water looks. So, I don't exactly know what to do there, but for now I am gonna highlight some of the edges of this squid, so I'll start with that and see how that looks, and then if the water needs more, maybe I'll try the edges of it. But just going to do little highlights because it's shiny and in the water. Why not? Just along the edges. I'm also going to color that eye in like basically white because I think that looks cool because it was getting a little lost in there. Do I? No. I'm not going to do the Enderman's eyes and sparkles. That would make them stand out too much. Okay. Squid. Now, like I said, some of these look a little bit weird right now, but that's because I am going to change the layer style to suit it a little bit better. Yeah. Hopefully this will help with making the squids look a little bit more pronounced again. Just because of the color of the liner and the color of the highlights and everything, and the layer styles, they got a little bit lost. So hopefully this will bring them back into reality, because they are real creatures that exist. This is all real now. Of course, gotta make Gibby a bit shiny, make him stand out. Tiny little head, tiny little eyes, tiny little smile. Squids are real. What? No. No, don't worry, it's just your imagination. Give you some polite. Yeah, I wanted to give him that really cute little axolotl mouth because their smiles are just so funny. Yeah, so like I did there, I think I'm gonna try highlighting these a little bit, like just the areas that I already have as ripples. I'm gonna see if that'll add enough definition to them. No, just like the birds gasp their cameras. You think we actually don't know what's down in the deepest depths of the ocean? Nah, the government is just trying to hide it from us. That's where they do. That's the actual Area 51, where they have all the real aliens. New conspiracy theory just dropped. Yeah, I'm gonna try these. I might have to erase them if they don't look good, but I'm just gonna see. It's a good final touch. We're running low on time. Hope I can get these in. The foundation is trying to contain them. Indeed. We must not know the truth. And maybe like a highlight on the mist. I don't know if that'll look any good, but worth a try. It looks kinda neat how it is. Gemstone's there, so I don't have any of the ones in. And back there is too far away to be bothered. Okay, now let's see if we can find a layer style that makes all of these parts look good. Addition. Color dodge, that might actually work a little bit. Darken. Erase, no. Lighten. There's not much of a difference when you use white for a lot of the layer styles. Overlay actually looks pretty good because it just kind of makes them like a little bit lighter. They can't have the sky squibs, they're mine. You own the mighty sky squids? Impossible. Yeah, maybe back to overlay. Then duplicate it because I went kind of light with them. And 50% that. Ooh. Yeah, you have tea on Thursdays? Aw, man. Why does Simple Potato Farmer get all the sky squids? Okay. Okay. Dokie. That looks pretty good. Those bright whites added that little extra oomph in some of the contrasts. Nothing seems to stick out too sorely, except maybe Gemstone is still a little bit all over bright. So if I can darken her shadows a little bit, maybe to 70? Let's see. 80? Ooh. That's pretty good. But then she gets lost a little bit, so maybe 75. And then the water whites might actually be too bright. %? I still want them to show up pretty bright, but also since they're pure white and they're the only parts that work, is even like this, I don't think that hits pure white. So yeah, make those a little more subtle. Interesting. It's still not quite there. Still have a couple minutes to mess around. Let me do a layer on top. And I'm just gonna go ahead and... Where is my mouse? There it is. Go to this and block it all out, and it's perfect! There we go. Kidding. Eye strain warning. So pretty. I'm just gonna see. Ooh, I love this color. It's perfect. I'm just gonna see. That looks funky. if anything will help it, because there's something off. There's something wrong with it. Does it just need to be brighter? No, I don't think so. Does it need to be darker? Oh, that's the saturation. We'll really desaturate it. It's perfect. That looks kind of cool, actually. But no. Red. And yes, you did tempt me to sing it, but I'm not going to. Because I don't think I can hit those notes. What if I... Actually, that looks kind of cool, but what if it was... a darker gray blue? I feel like it's still too bright. Let me try doing one more shading layer to see if I can get it how I want it. So, big airbrush. I'm gonna do that same kind of dark blue. I'm gonna... Oops. Start with 100% so I can see what I'm actually doing here. What? Okay. No. I don't know what that was, but I didn't want it. So first I'm gonna vignette it, which is just to draw the attention back to the center. But I think that already needs to be lighter around the edges, because it's just supposed to be subtle. And then I'm gonna go in, darken this, darken that, just darken everything that's not directly a light or directly shining with a light. We're just gonna see. This might take it too far, but I also don't think I'm gonna do any on this foreground rock here because it's already pretty out of the color. So this is basically how I make my art look good. I just throw on so many layers. Laundry, like, obviously it's not a get good button, like there still has to be a good base for it, and you still have to know how to use the layers, so I'm not cheating and I'm not just copping out, I promise. But you know, I find that I can't quite achieve the results I'm looking for with just color. Like with just my own knowledge of color. All the bits in between any of... See? So like even these littler ones that I didn't really do earlier. Any gaps. So glow. Yeah, I'm hoping it'll bring them out even more. It won't stay quite this dark, obviously, because I've colored the entire piece black, basically. But it may help. And a little more on her as well. If she doesn't have enough contrast. She should be one of the lightest parts of the piece, but also this light is shining directly on her, so she should have quite a bit of shadow, like deep shadow, right close to it. So let us see if this works. Not really. Man. I was really hoping that would fix it, but there's still something off about it. 'Tis a tricky puzzle. Maybe if I put it under the whites? It doesn't make much of a difference. Weird. I don't know. I think I might have taken away too much of the glow on the vines. Maybe if I just bring some of this back. Mostly on the forefront. Is tricky. Maybe like that. A little bit more subtle. Remember sleep 'cause job? Oh no, not sleep. I have to go straight to work. In 40 minutes. Ah, yeah. Indeed. If it was sleep, then I could postpone that, but I have to get ready. So that does help with the contrast a little bit. BNO? Oh. Just no. Self-care is important. Indeed it is. Which is why I made sure to get enough sleep last night. I second that. And I third that on you. Coffee at 10 p.m. So there. Okay, I'm gonna lighten these. I think the vignette muddies it too much. So wherever I have a bright light, I'm gonna get rid of that. But I'm still gonna keep it around everything else. I'm just gonna lighten up where the glows are a little bit more. It is now 11, but the rules do not apply to you. Well then why should they apply to me either? Anarchy! Okay. Is it just better without this layer? No, you both self-care. No, you! Guys, I have a compromise. None of us do it! Or all of us do it. I guess that works too. This one makes it look more glowy, this one makes it look more bright. No, all of you self-care. No, you! Okay. I think it might be done. What do you guys think? Does it need anything else? Any more tweaking? Or is it time to add the last final touch that I almost forgot about? Somehow. I don't know how I almost forgot. Very pretty. Cool. Now it's time for one final thing. Is this the right brush? No, not really. Not that one either. Where is it? No. Kind of? This'll have to do. I think I might be thinking of a brush from a different program. Okay. Sparkles. Not like that. Just over everything shiny. You're all over this. All over everything. I'm just gonna sparkle it all. So many sparkles. And then go back to my big airbrush and erase a lot of it. I don't think that quite worked how I hoped. I had an actual sparkle brush. I know that I have them in different programs, but I don't know if there is one in this one. Got rid of basically all of it. No, that wasn't it. Dang it, I was so close to getting this all done. But I really need the sparkles. But I don't know. Okay, that one's closer. Oh, that one's actually really good. Starfield. Sparkles around here, ambient sparkles. Some blue sparkles for around the squids. In the water. Around the water. Eggs. More yellow ones for around the lantern. So basically this is just cave particles that are picking up the light. Crunchy rock. And addition. Lower the opacity to 50. And then go in this time with that big soft eraser brush. Get rid of too many that are floating too far from anything. This type of stuff. Making sure it mostly falls within the areas that actually have glowy stuff. Actually, I want to keep the ones on the hair. Stick around those. Also, not that I want you to go, but it's 10 minutes past. I know, I don't have too much to do to get ready. So I should be alright. I just really want to get this done. For your sake and for my sake. And for the sake of the balance of the universe. It's definitely that important. Alright. So Gibby can be brought into the world. Of course, we have to bring Gibby to life. And I think that's just going to be an addition, unless how does colored object. Addition. Good. Overlay. Overlay is more subtle. Addition, and then lower a little bit further. Sorry, I'm kind of muttering. It's real nice. Maybe you might make a wooden Gibby? That would be so cute! You'd have to share a picture of it. I would need to see wooden Gibby. Yes, make him a mortal coil. Actually, on second thought, maybe that's not such a good idea. Then you'd have a body to enter our world. Save. 40 opacity. Alright. I think it cannot be stopped, gem being. Oh man. Alright, so the last part of this piece that needs to be done, I'm gonna take a color that I like. Nope. And see over here, no. Like over top of the gold, no. Down here, no. Next to it? No. You have a screenshot? Do you want a closer one? Gibby, Gibby, Gibby. Alright, but where should I put my signature? Maybe down here. Yeah. I'll put it down in this corner. my carefully crafted signature that I'm great at doing. It's perfect. And then I grab a darker color and I can just make it a little bit more subtle. Because my signature needs to be there, but I also don't want it to be like obnoxious and like ruin the look of everything, so. Yes, I do a bunch of work to my signature. Ah! I don't know what I did. Anyway. So there is the finished piece. Signed and sealed. And ready to go. So that is the end of this long, long saga. This is the 8th stream I've been working on it, I think. So that's, you know, probably around 20 hours with the off-stream time and the streams that are longer than 2. Yeah, there's a reason I don't normally do pieces like this, but that is where we're gonna leave it off. I am pretty satisfied with it. It's not perfect, but it's not in a way that I'm used to. So, yeah, here it is. So thank you so much for joining me and for sticking around. I hope that you've enjoyed the process of this piece coming to life. It will probably, hopefully, be usable in thumbnails. I don't really know if it'll work for the Minecraft thumbnails that I originally intended it for, so we'll see. But this is it for now. I may still go and do a few tweaks with fresh eyes, but that is that for today. Bye everyone, and please self-care indeed. Also have a nice day at work and Sky get some work done, please. Indeed, we should all make sure to be productive as best as we can. But yes, that is where I will leave it for now. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you've enjoyed. I hope that you didn't mind it taking this long. In future, I hope to do simpler art pieces that hopefully shouldn't take as long. But yeah, that's it for now. So, thank you for joining. Farewell, and have a wonderful day.